I'd like to start off by saying Barakatah Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Chakudash. Welcome to another live lesson. This one is basically just various topics. I really don't have anything in particular to go into, but do have a couple of things, I've been meditating about, say a few words on, and pretty much whatever the Spirit feeds me, I'll feed you, brothers. And shalom to the sincere Akim and Akwath out there that sincerely believe in this truth and appreciate the words of Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai. Because pretty much at the end of the day, besides Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai and this word, the only other thing we have is the brotherhood. This family union that the Lord Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai put together. The scriptures say that the Lord will sit the solitary in families. You have certain brothers that really didn't have many friends when they first came into this thing. Where pretty much some of them were loners. Some of them, even though they may have had certain friends, they really never felt like they were in the loop, so to speak, because, the people that they were around had a certain mindset, and that really wasn't their mindset. So the Lord set up a beautiful brotherhood, to differentiate between the world and the truth of Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai. And what you have is Satan trying to sneak up in there and destroy it. I'm just looking for this one particular scripture. Just bear with me. Just bear with me. This is the book of St. John 13. And 34. A new commandment I give unto you, that you love one another, as I have loved you, that you also love one another. By this shall all men know that you are my disciples, if you have love one to another. And that's something that's missing in this world. You have friends out there among Jake. They're cool with each other, but they'll pop each other's woman. They'll scheme on each other. They'll rob from each other. There's not really much honor, among Jake out here, especially nowadays. Yahweh Shai said, because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. And we're witnessing that. So this brotherhood is very precious and very, a very beautiful thing, but you have Satan that tries to get up in there, and he tries to disrupt the unity of the brothers, and if brothers aren't careful, you'll see, they'll allow Satan to creep up in there. This is 1 Peter chapter 5, verse 8. It says, be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about seeking whom he may devour. And that's what Satan is doing. So when you have, brothers coming together, Satan is always there in the midst, trying to, cause some type of havoc, some type of mischief, to put a wedge and a separation between brothers, you know? So brothers got to watch out for that. Let's go from there to the book of Hebrews 13 and 1. Let brotherly love continue. And that is very important, because what are the two main commandments that Yahweh Shai left with the disciples? Love the Lord thy power with all thy heart, mind, and soul, and love thy neighbor as thyself. Upon all these rest all the law. So like the Lord said, I'm gonna repeat it again once this noise goes by. The two greatest commandments that Yahweh Shai left. Number one, love the Lord thy power with all thy heart, mind, and soul, and love thy neighbor as thyself. Upon these two hang all the law. So all the law, when you go back into the law, it's either an infraction against the Most High or an infraction against your brother. So everything within the law falls upon those two categories, which the Brotherhood falls under the category of the Most High also, because he's the one that set up the Brotherhood. You know, this is our Psalms 133 and 1. Behold, how good and how pleasant it is for brethren to dwell together, what? In unity. Because what Satan seeks to do, he seeks to disrupt that unity. Matter of fact, let's look that word unity up. But there was something that came to mind, scripture that came to mind. Just bear with me 1 second. We just see if I can find this real quick. Just bear with me 1 second. Like I said, this is not scripted, so all right. All right, well, let's skip past that and let's look up this word unity. And in the book of Isaiah, the book of Psalms 133. Let me look it up over here while this other thing fires up. Forgot to fire it up. Takes a little bit of time to power up. All right, Psalms 133 and 1. The word unity. The Hebrew word is yachad. Yachad. A unit, that is adverbially, unitedly, alike, at all, once, both, likewise, only, all, together with all, together, all together. So unity means one unit. You have a unit, the unit works better when it works in a synergy. And that's how the Brotherhood works best. When things flow freely, when the Brotherhood is tight. You know, when the Brotherhood is free from leaven, so to speak. Now, we're not saying that brothers are going to be perfect. You know, you're going to have your disagreements. You're going to have, you know, one brother, you know, feels a certain way about another brother, or one brother might like to drink tea, another brother likes to drink coffee. You're going to have those differences. But as far as the unity, meaning having that one mind and one goal to teach his word and to keep that faith and that unity as one, that's the main goal. Because as we read, Satan is walking around trying to disrupt that, you know, and he may cause you to do something, or any of us to do something that'll rub our brother the wrong way. And we have to be careful of that, you know. I mean, not saying that you got to walk on eggshells, because, you know, I mean, certain individuals, they just are not going to like certain things that you do, you know. But as far as things that offend brothers, you got to be careful. As the Apostle Paul said, if meat make my brother to offend, I will eat no more meat as long as the world standeth, you know. So you have to be very careful with that, because remember, this brotherhood is a very precious thing. And this is why the world looks, and I've witnessed people saying that, to us, a few times. People will come up to us, man. One thing I got to say about you guys, everything y'all do together. You teach together, you eat together, you work on cars together, you do this together, you do that together, and everything we've done, we do it amongst ourselves because the world is separated from us. You may have friends in the world that you might be cool with, you might talk to from time to time, but as far as hanging out, there's really, if they don't know about the truth, there's really nothing there to hang out or talk about. What are you going to talk about? Because their interests or your interests are not their interests and vice versa. Unless the spirit have it to where you speak to that friend of yours and he end up coming in the truth. But that's very rare. It's very rare where friends will come into this thing. Not saying that it doesn't happen, because you do have brothers that knew each other in the world that was cool. You have family members that were in the world that were cool that are in this thing. But for the most part, it doesn't always work that way. Let me get this precept on that real quick. It's the book of Jeremiah chapter 3 and verse 14. Turn, O backsliding children, saith the Lord Yahweh Bashem El Shai, for I am married unto you, and I will take you one of a city and two of a family, and I will bring you to Zion. So there is times when that will happen, but that doesn't happen all the time. So the unity is very important amongst brothers, to keep the peace. Because when you don't have unity, you have disunity. And if you have disunity, that means that there's something lacking there. That means that the peace, that there's some disturbance there that is not allowing, the truth to grow, and that bond to grow. So let's go real quick. I want to look up that word unity again in Psalms 133 and 1. I got another source, so I'm going to see if this goes into it anymore. Yachad, same word. That pretty much says the same thing. Properly a unit. Yeah, so pretty much togetherness. The act of being together in unity in one mind. And that's why we can't have those unity camps, because the unity camps are not teaching the same thing. Although some of those individuals could be sincere, in really wanting to come together as a brotherhood, because we are all Israelites. But the thing about it is, if you have different doctrines, there's not going to really be any peace there, because what are you going to do? Look the other way when somebody says something that you don't agree with? And that's pretty much what they do. Some of them call on different names of the Most High, Yahweh. Some of them have different doctrines. Some of them teach the mark of the beast is a microchip. Some of them teach that it's not. Some of them teaches Christianity, sin and embargo, different things. So you can't have that. That's confusion. You can't have a unity like that, because what that's going to cause is confusion. And the Lord said He's not the author of confusion. All right. Now let's go real quick to Ephesians, and then I got another precept after that. Ephesians chapter 4 and verse 1. Therefore, the prisoner of the Lord, I therefore, the prisoner of the Lord, beseech you that you walk worthy of your vocation wherewith you are called. Yeah, because we've been called. The word vocation means voice or calling. When you have a convocation is what? Con is with, vocation is to call. So you're calling a union together. This is a holy convocation. This is a holy calling, a holy union. So if we are teaching this holy union, we have to be sure that what we're teaching is the right thing, and that we walk worthy of that calling, right? So what does it say? Many are called, but few are chosen. It says, with all lowliness and meekness, with long suffering, forbearing one another in love. Yeah, because we're going to have our differences as far as us being different spirits, having different likes, different things that we get into. But as far as the faith is concerned, it has to be solid. It has to be one unit. Otherwise, the machinery will break down. Imagine if you had a machine and half of the components were going in one direction and the other half were going the other direction. What do you think is going to happen to that machine? It's going to break down because everything is not working in unison. Matter of fact, let's look up that word unison, see what that says. Just bear with me 1 second. The word would be unison, and it's corresponding exactly, marching in unison, hypernyms, accord, agreement, occurring together or simultaneously. You see, the two spoke in unison. So if you're speaking in unison in one unit, that means that there's no room for confusion, because now the opposite of union or unity is what? Confusion, disunion. Let's look that word up. Confusion. All right, confusion. Confusion in the regular dictionary, disorder resulting from a failure to behave predictably, a mental state characterized by a lack of clear and orderly thought and behavior. Let's see. Doesn't really get too specific. It kind of goes in different directions. But what we will do is we will go to the scripture in the book of 1 Corinthians, the 14th chapter. And I believe that's the 33rd verse, if I'm not mistaken. It says, for the Most High is not the author of confusion, but of peace, as in all the churches of the saints. And we are the saints. The Israelites are the saints. So there ought be no confusion. And what is that confusion? The teaching of different doctrines. Not, well, you like vanilla ice cream and I like strawberry. That's not what it's talking about. You know, we shouldn't be eating that crap anyway. You know, if anything, maybe some vegan ice cream that ain't got no freaking soy in it, or some, you know, just straight up like fruit. Like I'll make ice cream myself. All I do is throw some the base for it is pretty much frozen fruit and coconut water. You know, you don't put too much coconut water so it could have a nice ice cream consistency, you know, and whatever fruit that you like. And then you can put your toppings on it, your coconut flakes or your sesame seeds or whatever the case is. You know, you have yourself there a nice healthy snack. So the word for confusion is akatastasia, instability. See, a state of disorder, disturbance, confusion. Why? Because there is no order. So the Lord said He's not the author of confusion. That's why He goes on to say, when we read further down in 1 Corinthians 14 and 40, it says, let all things be done decently and in order. See? So let all things be done decently and in order. So now let's go to that. Let's go to the word order. The word is taxis, an arrangement, order, a fixed succession, observing a fixed time, due or right order, orderly condition, the post, rank, or position which one holds in civic or other affairs. Since the position generally depends on one's talents, experience, resources, character, fashion, quality, style. So the scriptures already give us the order of things. Let's go real quick to Jeremiah chapter 3 and verse 14. And it says, 15. And I, this is the Most High speaking, will give you pastors according to mine heart, which shall feed you with knowledge and understanding. So there's already a order that was established by Yahweh Bashem Yahushai that He set up through the order of men. Because, you know, no matter who you are, you're going to be taught by some man. you know? And that's just the way that the Most High deals. Like even the Apostle Paul, although Yahushua came to him and gave him the mysteries, get what happened? He was still taught by a man, by Gamaliel. But then the actual mysteries of the revelations that Yahushua gave him, Yahushua gave it to him directly, you know, and that was a special case. But he was taught by a man. So the criteria, so to speak, is you have to have a teacher to teach you, you know. So this is the book of Romans chapter 10 and verse 15. How then shall they call on him in whom they have not believed? And how shall they believe in him of whom they have not heard? And how shall they hear without a preacher? Which a preacher is a prophet or a teacher. So in order for you to hear, you have to have a teacher. The Ethiopian eunuch, what happened with him? He was reading the scriptures, but he didn't understand them. And the Spirit told Philip to go stand by him. And then Philip asked him, understandest what thou readest? And what did he say? How can I unless a man teach me? And then from that point, Philip began at that same scripture and broke it down to him that those scriptures that he was reading was speaking about Yahushua. You see? And that was the apostles. The scriptures speak about the doctrine of Yahushua. It spoke about the doctrine of the apostles. So there is a doctrine, there is a teaching, there is a curriculum, there is something that must be followed, you know, because we didn't wake up of ourselves. The Spirit of the Lord caused us to hear the words from other men because we were walking down the wrong path. You know, the scriptures say that you shall hear a word behind you telling you this is the way when you turn to the right or you turn to the left. You know, so the Lord made us do a 180-degree turnaround to come back. So there is a set order of things that are taught that we are to follow. So now we go back. Now we go to the book of Ephesians. But before we go there, I want to get this precept that kind of slipped. Let's see. All right, so let's go to Ephesians chapter 4, verse 3 now. Endeavoring to what? To keep the unity of the Spirit in the bond of peace. Because if there's no unity in the Spirit, there is a disunity, which means there is a disorder. So there's no peace there. And that's why with them unity camps, you have one guy teaching one thing, another guy teaching something else. There's no unity there. Because the person that comes up asking a question is going to get the answer from the individual's belief that is speaking at the time. And the guy that's standing next to them that believes in something different is not going to say anything because they're thinking that that's unity. That's not unity. That's confusion. That is total confusion. And that's all we try to explain to them. But they think that we're hating on them. You know, we're the bad guys because we don't want to come under that banner of the unity camp. Look, we're just telling it like it is. You know, if you can receive it, beautiful. If you can't, then I don't know what to tell you. It goes on to say, there is one body and one spirit, even as you are called in one hope of your calling. One Lord, one faith, one baptism. Yeah, because if you have an individual calling on Jesus, and another individual calling on Christ, and another individual calling on Yahushua, and another individual calling on Yahushua, another individual calling on a different name, then that's confusion because there's only one Lord. You know, you have Yahweh and you have Yahushua. And you can't be calling on them different names and coming together for the sake of being Israelites. Because if that was the case, then how come Yahushua didn't come together with those Pharisees and Sadducees back then? They were all Israelites. They were all teaching different things. How come Yahushua said, look, let's put our differences aside and let's all come together? Because it doesn't work that way. See, what you guys are doing is you're bucking up against the Spirit by doing that. You know? Now, there was really love there, which what I mean by love, I'm not talking about that warm, fuzzy feeling you get inside and you get the butterflies in your stomach and all that stuff. I ain't talking about that so-called worldly love. I'm talking about true love for your brother. You know, y'all would sit there and would explain, you know, these things and come to a conclusion as to look, we have a difference in this doctrine, this and this. What are we going to do to rectify that situation? And, you know, work on that and make that to be the standard for the teaching, but make sure that it's the right thing. Because if a guy is teaching that the mark of the beast is a microchip, which it is, and another guy is teaching that it's Christianity or sin, and then everyone agrees that it's sin, then that's still off. That's still not unity, because it's still off. All right, so it goes on to say, one God or one power and Father of all, who is above all and through all and in you all. But unto every one of us is given grace according to the measure of the gift of Yahushua. So we all have a portion of Yahushua's gift in a measure. You know, some brothers have a little more than others, but all brothers that are in this thing are important. Just like every part of the body is important. There's no part of the body that is put there by Yahweh, by Shem Yahushua, that is not important. Like you have Esau likes to take the appendix out. The appendix has, you know, a purpose. Oh, it's just there. It ain't right. Just take it out. The tonsils have a purpose. They'll say take it out, and for a reward we'll give you ice cream. So people will go and take their tonsils out just for the sake of eating ice cream, which that's the first part of your immune system, because the tonsils is what starts to identify what's what. You know, when something is going wrong, the tonsils alert you that something is going down, so that you could take the proper procedure or go through the proper procedures and taking whatever herbs or whatever it is you need to help kill whatever it is that's ailing you. You see? But they'll take it out, take that out, take the appendix out, take this out, take that out, get gastro bypass surgery or whatever the hell that's called. Cut your stomach out, cut your stomach down. And all they're doing is setting you up for failure, man. And whenever you cut into the body's never the same again. You know? And these are things that we're not taught. All right, it says, so that the point of that is that the body works in the unity, just like the body of Yahushua, the truth, the men of the Lord are supposed to work in the unity, you know, in union. It says, wherefore he saith, when he ascended up on high, he led captivity captive and gave gifts unto men, because the Lord gave each individual their gift. And those gifts are supposed to be used for the purpose of what? Of keeping the unity of the faith. All right. So now let's go to Corinthians chapter 1, verse 10. Now I beseech you, brethren, by the name of the Lord Yahushua, that you all speak the what? The same thing. So in teaching, we are commanded to teach the same exact thing. Not teach, one brother teaches one thing, another brother teaches something else, but because of the unity of the brothers, we're not going to say nothing to this brother, you know, even though he's going off on that, you know, we're just going to let him slide on that because he's a brother and we're trying to keep this peace. We're trying to keep this unity camp. It doesn't work like that. That is not a unity camp. I hate to inform y'all. I hate to be the bearer of bad news. That is not a unity camp. A unity camp, by the proper definition, is a camp of different members of different groups of Israelites that come together but have the same doctrine. That is the proper definition of the word unity camp. All right. Let's see. All right. So let's see what else we got. Just looking at this. Got a precept here. Let me see. Yeah, and the word for Greek for as we're going to read on down, divisions and schism. But let's go to this other precept. Let's see what this says. And like I said, I don't have anything planned. Just going in the spirit. Let's see what this says here. Beautiful. 1 Peter chapter 3, verse 8. It says, finally, Be ye all of one mind, having compassion one of another, love as brethren, be pitiful, be courteous. Yeah. So we're supposed to be what? In one mind. Let's see, there's a precept there. And the precept shoots us to Romans. Let's see what that says. Let's see what that says. Romans. Beautiful. Wow. This is Romans chapter 12, verse 16. Be of the same mind one toward another. Mind not high things, but condescend to men of low estate. Be not wise in your own conceits. Yeah, because at the end of the day, we're brothers, man. You know, you have men that have been in this thing longer that are watching for your souls, but at the end of the day, we're all brothers. You know? So, you know, because I remember back in the days, you know, the apostles, they used to pretty much, you know, be among some of the younger brothers, you know, because they weren't acting too high and mighty to where, you know, they couldn't talk to younger brothers. They always made us feel welcome. They always made other brothers feel welcome, you know. Now you had other individuals that you couldn't step to unless you had a certain rank, you know. You couldn't even talk to them unless you addressed them by the almighty shield general, you know, whatever title they had. And if you didn't address them by their whole title, they would just like pretty much snarl at you, you know. So now let's go back, see if there's anything else there. Let's read that again in 1 Peter 3 and 8. Finally, be all of one mind, having compassion one to of another, love as brethren, be pitiful, be courteous. Now you notice the scriptures always keep speaking about the love of the brothers, the love of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, and the love of the brothers, because that is a very important key in this knowledge, you know. Now I want to go to this other precept in the book of James, but bear with me 1 second. I'm trying to fix some of these pages that the wind kind of folded up. All right, give me a second so I can find this precept. Right. Here we go. James chapter 2, verse 8. If you fulfill the royal law according to the scriptures, thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself, ye do well. Yeah, because if we love the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushai with all thy might, heart and soul, and your neighbor as yourself, that is a good start. You know, because if you love the Lord and love the brothers, you're gonna try to walk a certain way, you know, among them. You're not gonna steal from your neighbor. You're not gonna commit adultery with your neighbor's wife. You know, you're not gonna do certain things to them, you know, because you fear Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. All right, says if you fulfill the royal law according to the scriptures, thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself, ye do well. Let's see what else we got. Let's go back to 1 Corinthians 1 and 10. I'm going to read a couple of verses in here, and then we're going to close out, because pretty much the point is made. Like I said, I didn't have anything planned, but I guess I could change the name of this to brotherly love or something along those lines. 1 Corinthians 1 and 10. Now I beseech you, brethren, by the name of our Lord Yahushai, that you all speak the same thing. It says, Salakia. Spirit just gave me the title. It says, now I beseech you, brethren, be by the name of our Lord Yahushai, that you all speak the same thing, and that there be no what? No divisions among you, And what does it mean by divisions? Does it mean that one brother likes the color blue and another brother likes the color brown, that there's a division there? No, we're individuals, we're unique individuals, but as the unity part comes with the faith that we teach, and that there be no divisions among you, which is schisms, but that you be perfectly joined together, what? In the same mind and in the same judgment, according to this truth. You know, you can't be teaching one thing and another brother teaching something else, and then and just because y'all get together and break bread or sip some yayan or whatever the case is, that y'all are in unison or unity. No, that brings about confusion, because eventually those topics will come up to where you and the other individual differ, and who's gonna teach, who's gonna break it down, if one guy believes one thing and another guy believes something else. These are the same guys that would probably get together with cats from that believe in the Old Testament and don't believe in Yahushua. But just for the sake of the brotherhood and the unity of the brotherhood, we're gonna, no, that's not what that's talking about, man. It says, for it hath been declared unto me of you, my brethren, by them which are of the house of Chloe, that there are contentions among you. And a contention is what? Arguments. You know, when the Apostle Paul and Barnabas argued with those Pharisees that believed about the circumcision thing, there was a great contention, a great discussion. I mean, it was a all-out argument. And what did they do? They didn't say, well, you know what, we're going to squash this, you know, you believe what you believe and we'll believe what we believe. No, they got together, they went to the apostles and the elders, and they sat down and got the council together, made the corrections in it, and then they took the letters that the apostles and the judgment that the apostles gave and brought it back and set everything in the proper order as the Spirit gave the apostles the utterance. That was it. They didn't just sweep it under the rug and just say, forget about it, you know, let brotherly love continue. No, because you can't do that, because that breeds confusion. The scriptures say a little leaven leaveneth the whole lump. It says, now this I say, that every one of you saith, I am of Paul, and I of Apollos, and I of Cephas, and I of Yahushua. Is Yahushua divided? Was Paul crucified for you? Or were you baptized in the name of Paul? See? So pretty much you're supposed to have the same thing, because at the end of the day, we're all Israelites. I mean, we all have different names. You have GMS, you have ISUPK, you have IUIC, so on and so forth. But some of these other camps are not teaching the right thing, because the main thing that we harp on is the mark of the beast, which is the microchip. There's so much information out there and so much evidence out there, scripturally, physically, you know, through research, that prove beyond a shadow of a doubt that the microchip is the mark of the beast. So for you to teach something different, it's either you bugged out, blind and can't see it, or you sold out and you can't speak about it, because that's one of the major plans of Esau. That's one of the major plans of the international bankers, is that microchip. Because with that microchip, they're going to usher in their so-called New World Order. Because remember, they want perpetual slaves. You know? So we can't get together with individuals like that, because they're not teaching the right doctrine. You know? And at the end of the day, we belong to Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. We have men over us that watch over us, that we are put in charge under. But at the end of the day, we belong to Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. And the men that we're put under, they look out for our souls. And that's why it speaks about, let's get that real quick, in the book of Hebrews. There's two of them in Hebrews 13 and 7. Remember them which have the rule over you, who have spoken unto you the word of the Most High, whose faith follow, considering the end of their conversation. Yep. And then verse 20. Uh, I'm sorry, not 20. 17. Obey them that have the rule over you, and submit yourselves, for they watch for your souls. See, as they that must give account, that they may do it with joy and not with grief, for that is unprofitable for you. Yeah. Remember, the scriptures say that they that knew the Lord's will and didn't prepare are going to be beaten with more stripes, and they that didn't know the Lord's will are going to be beaten with fewer stripes. You know? So the leadership is put there to watch over the souls of the sheep. Yahushua spoke about the shepherd. Yahushua is the shepherd. He is the porter. And you have other shepherds that he put out there. But then you have the hirelings that are out there too, that you got to be wary of and leery of and watch. Because they're not leading you on the right path. For the most part, some of them sold out. And some of them are just not in the spirit. You know? Some of them will come out of it. Some of them won't. It all depends on Yahweh Bashem Yahushai and who he's going to have mercy on. So with that, pretty much, we can leave it there and close out the lesson. Pretty much the name of the lesson is going to be Dwell in the Unity of the Brotherhood. I had a few other things that I had wanted to speak on, but the Spirit didn't suffer me to, so I'm going to leave it at that. And if it comes up on another time, then I'll speak on it. And if not, then we're moving on. Like I preach Iquab used to always say, we're moving on. Because it's too late in the game to be trying to jumpstart any individual. The information is out there, the truth is out there, the videos are out there. And to notice that some of the main pages, the Lord caused them to be cut down. And there was a lot of information in there. What is the 666 mark? Daily edification, daily exhortation, the GMS walk and talk. I believe that was number 8. There was a whole lot of a great body of work, in those 2 channels and other channels that brothers have out there, different brothers out there in different camps, So the Lord is slowly but surely shutting down those doors of mercy. He's plucking a lot of the main channels so that this word can start to become more and more precious. Because now at one time cats be like, oh well, you know what? It's on there, so I could always go back and search it and get that video when I need it. Can't do that no more unless you downloaded it. And to download all those videos, you're gonna need a lot of space. You're gonna need many external hard drives. So the ones that got it, good. That's for their benefit, and the ones that didn't take heed or pay attention, hey, the Lord, just pretty much, is closing down the doors of mercy slowly but surely. So with that, I pray that your brothers have been edified. Until the next time I say, Shalom.